Thank you for joining us for Pet Connect. I'm Tara Douglas. We spoke last week about 29 dogs and puppies that were sent on transport to rescues in other states. And I didn't realize that while I was talking, there were 33 other dogs and puppies and I think some cats too that were leaving on a van that morning. So we had a very successful week last week with animal transport. And as it so often is in animal rescue, you have to take the good with the bad. We did have several pets that came into the shelter and came into feral dogs that were medical emergencies. So we do the best we can each week to try to focus on the positive and then handle the negative things that happen and hope that we can turn those into success stories. Like Barkley. Barkley is a puppy that came to the shelter with a broken leg and he's going blind. Well, he found a local home last week. So I'll be filling you in on Barkley's story as we go along. He's going to have a different name, so at some point you'll get to hear about him. And I'd like to talk about our viewer pet of the week, which is also a success story. We have Minnie, who is Joan Ludwig's cat. You can see Minnie right there. And she disappeared the beginning of July, possibly scared by fireworks. And she was gone for a couple of months. And through the determination of Miss Joan and all of her friends and neighbors, Minnie was found the beginning of September. So she was reunited with, I guess that's a hippo, with her hippo there. And she is so happy to be home, and we're so happy for Joan to have found her cat, and we've got such a great story there with them. And then we also have another cat that is going to be available at our adoption event this weekend. This is Juice. He's 12 weeks old, and he's a male, and he is ready for adoption. He's up to date on his shots. He's been fixed. And that adoption event is at Petsense this Saturday from 9 to 2. And our special guest today is here to talk to us about that. We have Ashley Browder from Petsense. So Ashley, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
So before we get into the adoption event, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Ashley. I'm the assistant manager out at Petsense. I've been there for about 2.5 years now. I was born in Sylacauga, raised in Sylacauga. In the process of raising my kids in Sylacauga, so you know how that goes.
That's great. You got roots here, and
yeah.
you're continuing to build those roots.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you said you've been at Petsense for 2.5 years.
Yes, ma'am.
You are such a big help every time I go in there. You're that smiling face that greets us, and
kind of a busy bee.
You are a busy bee. So tell us a little bit about well, first of all, before we get into that, you work at Petsense, so I'm assuming you have pets. So tell us about the pets that you have at your house.
Well, I have my cat Poseidon. He's huge, Maine Coon, a mess, and then we have Thackeray. She's also a cat. That's all we've got right now.
Okay.
But
that's a plenty of animals in a household sometimes.
Yeah.
you can end up with a lot more, but 2 cats can cause all kinds of fun around a house, I'm sure.
Right.
And I'm sure your kids love growing up with cats.
Oh goodness, can't keep them off of them.
Now, with working at Petsense, how long has that Petsense been there? Do you know?
I think we're going on 4 years.
Okay, because we've got so you're right there on 280, but next to Hobby Lobby and TJ Maxx in that shopping center. Mm-hmm. And so what kind of products do you carry at Petsense?
Pretty much everything to cater to your pet's needs. I mean, we have the dog food, the cat food. There's an entire section for aquatics, reptiles. So we have a little bit of everything, really.
That's great. And it's so nice to have a store like that in Sylacauga and in this area for people.
Yeah, because the animal, especially the reptiles and stuff, there's a lot more people around here than you would expect, small town that have them, so that's where a lot of the business comes from.
From reptiles, okay, that's interesting. And when I've been in there shopping, I've been surprised at how many different kinds of products you have and different brands of dog food and cat food. So for some of our viewers that might be picking up dog and cat food in Birmingham or Anniston or Montgomery, what are the different brands that you carry there?
Well, we carry Nutro, we carry Signature, Victor. I know Victor's one of the biggest sellers we have.
Okay.
That's dog food. As far as cat food, we carry, everything from Fancy Feast to Fancy Cat. There's Fussy Cat as well.
Which my cats love because they are all very fussy. And it seems like Fussy Cat makes them happy. Now you have, you mentioned the different types of products you have for the different kinds of animals, but you have food, you have treats, toys, got everything it seems like
Yes,
there.
ma'am.
And you've even got different things like cages and kennels and all kinds of like cat litter and different cat litter boxes and things like that. So you've really got a well-rounded store with lots of items for lots of different types of animals. But you not only provide those kind of items, you also have services there. So tell us about your grooming services.
Well, basically, you know, we have the different bathing packages. There's puppy packages. You know, we have 2 groomers. They do the full grooms. You know, they can do the whole 9 yards. And there's actually a new program. You know, you get 7 full grooms, I think, and then you get a free one.
Okay.
It's under the Tractor Supply Petsense Rewards program.
Okay.
So they're really good back there, you know.
Absolutely. And we were just talking about that. You mentioned Tractor Supply. Tractor Supply does own Petsense now. And so, you know, not only do you have some specials within Petsense itself, but you were saying that now there are different rewards points or something to use at Tractor Supply?
Yeah, basically what it is anything you buy at Petsense, other than the buy 10, get 1 free, you know, the bags of food and stuff, anything else you buy, you can build up points, and they'll not only go towards your Petsense rewards program, they'll also go towards the Tractor Supply rewards program.
Okay, so that's great. Because I do hear rumors that we may be getting Tractor Supply in this area. But you were saying that you think the closest one right now is Talladega?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you briefly mentioned the 10 bags. Is that dog and or cat food that you can get 10 bags and then get a bag that's free?
Yes, it's dog and cat food. There's also a couple of litters that you can also buy 10, get 1 free.
Okay. And then when I was in there buying food last weekend, and I noticed the sign that I'd never noticed it before about your self-services that you have in your grooming area. So tell us about that.
Oh yeah, so basically all that is you bring your own dog. We have the big tub in the back that's set up. We supply the soap, the towels, there's a blow dryer, and it's $10 per dog.
Okay.
So a lot of people choose that option over having somebody else to do it.
And how do you get set up to do that? You said that Petsense provides all the supplies. And do you have to make an appointment to reserve the tub at that time, or do you just come and you wait if someone's using it?
Yes, ma'am, you just wait if somebody's using it.
Okay,
It's
so
no appointment necessary.
That's great. Now, another thing that you have there at Petsense that, in addition to all these services we just talked about, is that you guys do have 4 cages there where you can help the shelter and help feral dogs of Avondale Mill, which
yes.
everyone appreciates that we can have cats there. And so you have at least 4 cats. Sometimes we have a couple of kittens in one cage, and they can.
So sometimes there's 6 or 8, you know, but we love it.
And so you are the one that I notice has been a big help. The whole store is a big help with the cats, but I see that you're kind of our primary contact through feral dogs. When I look at the messenger page for the Petsense crew when they're coming to clean, you help with the adoptions and make sure we know about the adoptions, and we do appreciate everything that the store does to allow us to have cats there and everything that you do personally. So are there any interesting stories that you can think of from those cats and kittens that are in those cages?
Oh goodness, well there's so many. Right now we have Chip. He's so sweet. He is the sweetest cat. He's a little bit messy, but you know, that pretty much comes with the territory.
I think in Chip's defense, when he has more space and he gets adopted, that he will not have to be as messy. But right now he's just so excited, and he needs a home. He's such a sweet cat.
Yeah, and then we had Jezebel. She liked stealing stuff off of people's heads. Like she stole 2 or 3 pairs of glasses. So yeah, there's a bunch of cutesy little stories. The biggest thing is just, finding them a good home.
Absolutely. And it's there's so often that when you're there cleaning the cages, the cages are stacked, so there's one on top of another. And when you're squatting to either look at a cat, to pet a cat, or to clean out the cage, the ones above often reach over and try to pull things off your head. So that's what she's talking about with the glasses being pulled off, or hats, or whatever. Those cats are trying to reach and get as much attention as possible. But need to talk about now. We're having a big pet adoption event there this weekend. So speaking of these cats that need homes, tell us about this adoption event that's going on.
All right, so it's going to start at about 9, 10 o'clock that morning. Dr. Baxley's going to be out there doing a rabies drive.
Okay.
You know, you can choose to either walk up to his tent with your pet, or you can pull up to the curb, and a lot of times, you know, he'll accommodate you that way.
Okay.
He's going to be there. We're going to have the street cafe. They're probably going to make an appearance. We're really excited about that.
And they're a food truck that's going to be there.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am. They're a food truck. Live South is going to be there as well.
Okay.
You know, getting blood and everything. So we're really hoping to have a big turnout this time. I know Mitzi of Feral Dogs, they're going to be out there as well with a few cats and everything, as long, you know, as well as the cats that we already have.
That's great.
So we're hoping to, you know, turn some heads. We will be accepting donations, you know, any kind. It'll go towards feral dogs in the shelter too.
That's wonderful. And and just, you know, if you come by the event, and they may have some dogs there, but this is primarily a cat event this weekend. But if you have any questions, if you've seen some of the cats or dogs on Feral Dogs Facebook page, or you've heard through word of mouth some that are available at the shelter, people will be there to answer your questions so that you can know more about the cats and dogs that are available, so that we can find them a forever home. And we may have the Coosa County shelter there. Dennis and Debbie Hill are working very hard to get that shelter open, and they may be there to answer some questions. But if not, I will have Dennis on the show next week so that he can tell us about their progress with the Coosa shelter. But anything else you can think of before we go, Ashley? You filled us in on quite a bit, so that's wonderful.
I feel like that's pretty much the basics. We just, you know, this weekend, we hope to have a good turnout.
And so again, the time is for the event is what?
It'll start at 9 o'clock that morning.
Okay.
A lot of people, you know, sometimes show up at 10, but,
Okay.
you know, they'll be there at 9.
And I believe I checked the times of Auburn game and Alabama game, and I think they're both on after that. So hopefully, if you're not physically going to the game, then please come by and check out the cats that are available from 9 to 2. And even if you're not going to adopt, it could be very nice to come by there and just visit with the cats and give them some of the much needed love that they can have before they go to their forever homes. But Ashley, again, thank you so much for coming on the show, and I'll see you Saturday from 9 to 2 at Petsense.
All right,
and we hope to see all of you there. And thank you so much for joining us on the show. We'll see you next week when we're talking to Dennis Hill from the Coosa Shelter.